Is X overrated? It has been 7 years since X has passed away, and during that time, many people have changed. The whole music and rap scene has changed. It used to be from a SoundCloud era all the way now to a TikTok era. And so has his image, as many people who used to like him now call him corny, and I can't even really blame them.
Do you have any relationship with your father? I mean, talk about your mom.
What's that? What's a father?
Besides that, I remember growing up on X. I remember I was like 12 or whatever, and I remember listening to songs, like Sippin' Tea in Her Hood and, What in Tarnation. I remember I used to be bumping that in my shitty fucking Apple earbuds. And so basically this is going to be a trip down memory lane for me as I remember growing up on all of his stuff. The way I'm going to be judging X on this video is by listening to his 2 albums that he released when he was alive, being 17 and X. So basically this is just, X's 2 albums 7 to 8 years later. Holy shit, 8 years later, that's fucking crazy to me. But anyways, let's get into the video. The album starts off with an explanation, and I don't know why the fuck X keeps putting explanations into his album. Like your fan base needs a fucking, guide or fucking tips and tricks before listening to an album. But basically what it is like, you're entering my thoughts, you're entering my world, and you're hearing about what I'm gonna say, and how I'm depressed, and how I wanna kill myself. And God, it's so fucking corny. Outside of the explanation, we get the next song, Jocelyn Flores, which is probably my favorite song off of here. This one actually has some emotional depth to it, as it talks about X's friend who's in the song title and how she killed herself, and him relating to her about how he wants to kill himself or whatever. And you know what? That's the only good song that actually has some depth to it. But after this song, the album kind of falls apart in my opinion. The next song being Depression of Obsession, being a fucking most boring song ever. It's literally just him being like, depression and obsession, and then there's this guitar beat behind it, and it's basically just a vibe song. There's literally nothing to it, there's no purpose of it, only there just to serve vibes. And that, I feel like that's what most of the album is. The song Everyone Dies in Their Nightmares is just basically another filler song, as he's rapping over the guitar beat, and he's like, and everyone dies at nighttime, and that's basically the song. And yep, that's just basically the entire record. The only notable song that doesn't sound the same as usual is Fuck Love, as there's, the trippy red chorus like, baby, I need you in my life, in my life. And no joke, that is literally the entire song. 70% of the song is literally Trippy Red's chorus, and then the other 30% is just X chiming in, and he's just like, gunfires in my head. That's literally the album. It's literally just vibes that, sound deep and whatever, but it's basically nothing. And especially the lyrics, as I remember, 12-year-olds calling X, deep and, edgy and whatever. But literally all of his lyrics are like, I have thoughts in my head, and they all make me want to kill myself. Basically, this album, it's not good. If I had to give it a score, the score I would give is a 2, as, the only thing that holds it up for being a 2 is Jocelyn Flores, and then parts of Fuck Love and Everyone Dies in Their Night Times. Alright, first album down, not that really good. Let's see what the next album is. The next album I got is Question Mark, and this one is way better than 17. But first, let's get into the positives of this album. One, that there are very unique tracks in here. It sounds weird I'm saying this because, that's what music should be. It should be unique and whatever. But this has more variety. You know, it goes into, you know, rock, it goes into R&B, it goes into hip hop and stuff like that. And although, you know, it might sound bad or even worse, it's way better than, you know, 17, where all the songs sound the fucking same. Next, there's some songs on here that are really good and they sound different from each other, although, you know, it doesn't really make it an album. The highlights I would say on this album would be Moonlight with its dreary piano keys and the hook for it. The song Sad, that, you know, is somewhat similar to Moonlight, but the hook on it is way better, but although it doesn't have the same sample that I like more on Moonlight. The boom bap song on here being Affinity with Joey Badass, I would also say that's a highlight because, you know, Joey and X, I would say, flow really together on this song. Then these hype songs on here, specifically being Going Down and Dollar Sign with Maddox. Going Down having a very catchy hook, and Dollar Sign having very good flow and chemistry between Maddox and X. Now here are the negatives of this album. X also has another instructions on this fucking album. I don't know why he has that, but they're directed at me and they're saying like, if you're not listening to this album with an open mind, then what are you doing trying to listen to this alternative music? Or with my open mind, I easily say that this album is mid. Now there isn't any really bad songs except Floor 5-5, which is, you know, this like Sigma bass rage ultra song, and then, you know, X goes all in, and it's so fucking corny. God. And then there's I Don't Even Speak Spanish, lol, and at least he admits it, because this song is also some hot ass. I don't know if it's with, you know, with rappers and, you know, Mexican artists or whatever collabing, but every time I hear those type of songs, they automatically suck, and this one could be a prime example. But those are my highs and lows for this album, as the rest of the album on here, they sound like 17 leftovers, to be honest. The rest of the songs being lo-fi hip-hop with lyrics thin as paper. That is basically question mark, and if I had to give this a score, definitely way better than 17, but not good in my opinion. If I had to give this a score, it would probably be a low 5. But the main question in the video is X overrated, and does he stand in the big 25? And the answer I say is no. There are some songs from his earlier days that, you know, sound better and more unique than this, but from his albums being 17 and question mark, there's not a lot of, you know, replayability from it. Anyways guys, hope y'all enjoy the video. If I made you change your Bart Simpson X profile picture, make sure you drop a like and subscribe.